the harvest.
Greetings, Africa FM listeners. This is Widad Allaoua with your Pan-African News appointment. Starting off with the Eid al-Fitr celebrations, Muslims across the world, including many African countries, are celebrating Eid al-Fitr today. On this occasion, Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune performs the Eid prayer this morning in an atmosphere marked by solemnity and serenity. The president also addresses the Algerian people, extending his heartfelt greetings to completing graceful the holy month of Ramadan towards citizens at home and abroad, while expressing his hopes for continued security, stability and prosperity. President Tebboune.
يسعدني أن أتوجه إليكم بالتهاني الخالصة بمناسبة حلول عيد الفطر المبارك أعاده الله علينا وعلى بلادنا وسائر المسلمين بالخير والهناء والاستقرار. كما أتوجه بالشكر الجزيل إلى كل من ساهم في تهيئة وتوفير الظروف الملائمة لتعزيز روح التضامن والتعاون في مجتمعنا طيلة الشهر الفضيل. لما لمسناه من طمأنينة بعثت في قلوبنا روحانية هذا الشهر الكريم، سائلين الله تعالى دوام نعمته على الجزائر المحروسة والمسقية بدماء شهدائنا الأبرار. كما أزف تهاني الخالصة إلى أبناء جاليتنا في الخارج، مؤكدا وقوف بلدهم الأم على الدوام إلى جانبهم، وخصوصا في ظل ما يعيشه الشرق الأوسط من وضع مأساوي، راجيا من الله عز وجل العودة في أقرب وقت للوضع الطبيعي بما يسهم في إحلال الأمن والسلم في كل الدول الشقيقة في المنطقة، وفي أولى القبلتين والثالث الحرمين، وفي غزة والضفة الجريحتين. عيدكم مبارك وكل عام وأنتم بخير. المجد والخلود لشهدائنا الأبرار. تحيا الجزائر حرة سيدة أبية.
The European Commission faces strong criticism from members of the European Parliament during an exchange of views in the Parliament's Agriculture Committee, as concerns mounted over the legality, transparency and substance of its approach to EU-Morocco trade relations covering Western Sahara. The Sudanese Armed Forces states that the drone strike targeting a group of civilians in the Tina region of Chad was carried out by the Rapid Support Forces militias led by the Al Daglo. In a statement condemning the attack, the army says it was part of a repeated pattern by terrorist militia targeting civilians in both the Tina region of Chad and Sudan since December 2025. The Sudanese military reiterates its rejection of such criminal acts and reaffirms its commitment to protecting civilians and working with neighboring countries to preserve regional security. Shifting to Niger, the Confederation of Sahel States strongly condemns the European Parliament's adoption of a resolution concerning the situation of Niger's former president, Mohamed Bazoum. An official statement issued from Ouagadougou, confederal authorities denounces what they described as a serious interference and a stance marked by retrograde paternalism. The Confederation of Sahel States, speaking through its president, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Chadian authorities dispatch a high-level government delegation to the Tini area in the Wadi Fera region following a security incident involving drone strikes. The mission is led by the Minister of Armed Forces, Veteran and War Victims General Isaka Malaud Jamos, and aims to reassure local populations while reaffirming the state's commitment to protecting citizens and safeguarding territorial integrity. Cameroon's parliament has elected MP Theodore Dotto as the new Speaker of the National Assembly, succeeding Kavaye Yigo Jibril, who had held the position since 1992, the longest tenure in the legislative chamber's history. The chairperson of the African Union, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, welcomes the joint decision to prioritize, peaceful and diplomatic solutions in resolving border disputes between Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. Mahmoud Ali also praises the high-level Trilateral Summit held in Conakry on March 16, 2026, noting its focus on strengthening cross-border cooperation and promoting stability within the Mano River Union framework. On the energy sector, the International Atomic Energy Agency concludes that Rwanda is making steady progress in establishing the legal and technical foundations for the development of a peaceful nuclear energy following an infrastructure review conducted in Kigali at the request of national authorities. Join me right now in the studio, Isaiah Natakonda, to provide us with more information about this. Hello, Isaiah.
Hello, Widad.
So, Isaiah, Rwanda is putting a $6 billion bet on the future that could transform the land of 1,000 hills into a continental energy leader. How does this change the game of Rwanda's 2050 goals?
It changes everything, Widad. After an intensive 8-day mission that wrapped up in Kigali last week, the International Atomic Energy gives Rwanda a definitive green light to proceed.
Yes.
But Widad, this isn't the nuclear energy of the last century. Kigali is leapfrogging traditional massive power plants. Instead, they are betting heavily on small modular reactors, call them the SMRs. Think of these as a high-tech, flexible power units that are faster to build and easier to fund. The goal, to have the first reactor online by the early 2030s, eventually supplying a massive 70% of Rwanda's electricity. The timing is critical. Speaking in Paris just a few days ago, President Paul Kagame makes it clear. Nuclear power isn't a luxury for the West. It's a survival tool for African industrialization.
Yes.
Without this high capacity Widad, Rwanda simply cannot reach its goal of becoming a high-income nation by 2050. It needs this energy for the data centers and the mineral refineries for tomorrow. Of course, there are still checkpoints ahead. The International Atomic Energy Agency experts noted that the Rwanda Atomic Energy Board must now fast-track a new national nuclear law to meet global safety standards. By moving fast, Rwanda isn't just powering its own homes, it's positioning itself as a pilot model for an entire continent hungry for energy sovereignty. Back to you, Widad.
Such important information, Isaiah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Malawi's Department of Disaster Management Affairs announces on Thursday that 13 people are confirmed dead due to heavy rains and flooding, with 9,598 households affected across 60 local councils. And closing up with sports, the president of the Senegalese Football Federation, Abdoulaye Fall, strongly asserts that the Africa Cup of Nations title was rightfully secured on the pitch by the Senegal national team through the efforts of its players, stressing that the trophy cannot be stripped from them. He also expresses confidence that justice would be served by the Court of Arbitration for Sport in challenging what he describes as an unjust decision. Abdoulaye Fall.
For us, this is a straightforward matter. Senegal cannot lose this match on a technicality, and the title cannot be taken away. It is a game that was played. There were incidents during the match and some disputes, which is normal, and the play resumed. A penalty was awarded, taken, and missed. The match reached its conclusion, extra time was played, and Senegal won 1-0. We received our medals, lifted the trophy, and were later awarded the prize money. Senegal will stand firm and rightfully defend its victory and on the pitch through the talent of our players. We have mandated our lawyers to pursue the case before the Court of Arbitration for Sports. And finally, we express our full support to our supporters currently being held in Morocco. We will continue to fight for their release and for their safe return home.
This what we harvested today. Thank you for your attention. This harvest was directed by Yasmin Bekay, controlling board with Yusuf, streaming service with Rania. Now we leave you with our programs at Tamarast station. And again, Eid Mubarak to all those celebrating.